Welcome back to The Forge. Turn up the volume, close the door. If you're looking for a how-to on making it in the industry, connections, or a polite tutorial on framing a shot, get out now. Go find a hobbyist channel where they'll pat you on the back for your mediocrity. In this house, we don't do safe, we do truth. And today, the truth is burning. We are conducting a forensic unmasking of a murder. The systematic, calculated homicide of the independent film spirit. This isn't a theory. This isn't a downward trend. This is a crime. The heart of the independent cinema has just stopped beating. It's being strangled by a generation of filmmakers who are so desperate for institutional validation that they've traded their sovereignty for a seat at a table that doesn't even want them. We have entered the era of the social ghost. I see it every day. I see actors who treat a set like an optional social invitation. I see first-time filmmakers who are more concerned with being SAG eligible than they are being artists. They have this pathological strive to not be independent. They want the label of indie because they see it as a cool aesthetic at a party, but their internal compass is locked onto one thing: succeed in the white eye. They are auditioning for the master before they've found their own voice. And what are they producing? They're burning through bloated $15,000 budgets to create these shitty, glossy short films that have absolutely no soul. They are scholars of the silhouette. They've mastered the precrest method, obsessing over the vein tilt, that precise 3-degree angle of the chin to catch the key light, hoping a beautiful texture will mask the profound absence of eternal life. They are writing a skin script, a hollow, perfect glow that seals a version of professionalism, but leaves the actor a fleshy prison. It is a psychic rot when you prioritize the surface over the subtext. Look at the seats we're building. We've allowed the industrialization of comfort to replace the fire of the craft. We've turned the seats into a spa experience. While I will always and have always fought for personhood of the artist, we have allowed the intimacy coordinator to be weaponized as a bureaucracy. We've turned raw, visceral human connection into framework of a physical movement, a choreographed dance where nothing is ever a surprise. If nothing is a surprise, nothing is real. We've sucked the art out to protect the producer from a lawsuit. And we call it safety. No, it's sanitization. It's erasure of the visceral. I've seen this parasite before. I've watched the updrift of theater degree hobbyists who've decided that community theater wasn't valid unless it mimicked the rigid, sterile hierarchy of equity. They brought their resume and their conflict avoidance and their radicalized version of professionalism that demanded you straighten your hair and lower your voice. They killed the community in the name of quality, and now that same hobbyist ideology is eating indie film. It's the theater degree hobbyists who treat the set like a resume padding exercise rather than a forge of discovery. It's the film degree novice who would rather eat craft services than really work on their craft. And while we're talking about rot, let's talk about the gimmick economy. We are drawing in an oversaturation of utter crap. 19,000 features a year, content for the sake of content. And most of it is mathematically worthless. We have filmmakers chasing VR prototypes and technical novelties because they don't have a story worth telling. And who is this fueling? The parasites. The pay-for-play junk festivals. These festivals exist for one reason: to satisfy local tourism boards and line the pockets of organizers who charge you a submission fee for the privilege of attending a red carpet event that yields nothing but an invitation to yet another crappy festival. It is a vicious circle. It's a scam. You are paying for a service that doesn't exist. They aren't screening your art. They are hosting a catered black tie event on your dime. They are exploiting the hope of vulnerable creators to pay for their own relevance. Listen to me and listen closely. Be honest with yourself. Not every movie has to be an Oscar masterpiece. It doesn't have to be polished to be powerful, but it must have a soul. If it doesn't have a soul, the labor is worthless. You are just wasting time and money on a glossy lie. My book, Performance is Freedom, is a manifesto. It is a call to arms to reclaim the craft from an industry that wants you to erase yourself to succeed. The Jerome method isn't about technical precision. It's about the unrestrained anti-traditionalist explosion of the self. It's about being a sovereign creator. It's about building your own house instead of begging for a room in someone else's. Freedom isn't a union card. Freedom isn't a 15K budget for a glossy short. Freedom is the ability to stand in the fire of the forge and tell a truth that burns, that deserves to be told. If you're here to play dress up, get out. If you're here to be an architect of a vibe, find another fucking podcast. But if you are ready to be an architect of the fire, if you are ready to be a builder who creates without permission, then pick up the goddamn hammer and strike the fucking anvil. We're tearing down the walls of the social ghost. We're burying the skin script because this house, my house, we don't strive for the white eye. We don't strive for the white privilege. And we sure as hell do not strive for Warner Brothers money. We strive for the unrestrained truth. Because the truth is, performance is freedom. Now let's get to fucking work. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And if you're making dangerous work out there, send it my way. I want to review it. I want to talk about it. I want you on my show because guess what? We don't have time to play around with the Barbies in Hollywood any longer. Let's start telling stories. I'm Robert Jerome Pagan, and this has been The Creator's Forge.